In a previous video, I had talked about how I separate out the wood into different size pieces from my pile here, and that's kind of how I keep things clean. Rick, however, up at his wood yard, he runs everything into one great big pile, but he prefers to kind of clean everything before it goes into the pile, and so he doesn't have all of this debris and this slash and this trash mixed in with the wood as well. But in his situation, if you remember back a few videos ago, I was up there and we kind of had one conveyor feeding into another conveyor. He did have a little sorting table that we used to kind of keep the dirt and the debris and the slash out of his main pile, but it kind of required somebody to be there, like physically moving the wood from one conveyor to the next conveyor and letting all of this stuff, letting all of that fall through the grates on his little sorting table. So he had an idea to take that sorting table and kind of combine it with the idea of grizzly bars, and to figure out a way that we could possibly eliminate having someone physically at the end of one conveyor sorting the wood just to put it into the other conveyor. So I went up to his wood yard to fabricate together his idea that he came up with, and I think it turned out pretty cool, so check this out. So his idea involved taking his sorting table, or the design of his sorting table, and combining that with the idea of grizzly bars, but not having the grizzly bars attached to the conveyor. And again, in his situation, what he needs to do is he needs to take the wood from the Easton made conveyor onto another conveyor just so that he can get his stacks and his piles higher and bigger. So once we had everything kind of all roughly put together, and again, this was all just kind of going off of some ideas that we had tossed around, being able to like use gravity to have the pieces come off the Easton made, slide down over top of some grizzly bars, and then land into the other conveyor, and then be taken up and added to the pile. So everything turned out looking great. We were kind of joking around. We kind of named the thing the slash and slide, just because it's going to get rid of the slash, and it's like a little slide that goes down from one conveyor to the other. So once we had everything put together, yes indeed, it was time to put it to the test and have kind of like a proof of concept to see if it would actually work. So it didn't work too bad. We did make a few adjustments. We did move the conveyor back a little bit just to see if we could somehow maybe slow down the speed at which the pieces were coming off of the 37D conveyor and then going down the slide into the other conveyor. So we moved the conveyor back a little bit, and then what that ended up doing is, for whatever reason, I'm not exactly sure, but it ended up having the pieces come off the 37D, and what they would do is they would kind of take a nosedive and they would like flip. And by doing that flip, it kind of slowed them down a little bit, and then they slid right on down. Oh, and we also moved the entire slash and slide. We moved that back as well. So overall, Rick is very happy with the way things turned out. The spacing underneath the actual like grizzly bars or the sorting bars is big enough to put an IBC tote. An IBC tote will fit underneath there, and it fits like perfect. So the slash and the debris will end up falling into an IBC tote that we can then just fork away and go and dump and replace with an empty one to just keep on running. But overall, everything turned out working pretty well. It was pretty cool to see it all come together. I think this idea is going to work. It gives Rick that ability to use the 37D, have one conveyor, and then have like a little stage in the process where the slash and the debris and the fine material falls through, and then the split pieces continue on into another conveyor up onto a pile. So let me know down in the comments what you think of the slash and slide. It's kind of like a set of grizzly bars, but kind of a standalone set of grizzly bars for one conveyor to feed another conveyor and sort out all the fine material from going up into the pile and making a mess. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Stay safe, have fun, and be cool.